If you have anything to do with computers, at home or at work, then this is a must-watch story. For the past few months, I've been delving into the extraordinary, frightening world of hackers and computer criminals. No longer the stuff of Hollywood movies and science fiction, computer crime is an insidious growth industry. As I say, if you ever touch a computer keyboard, then nothing you use it for, nothing you say or store there is secret or secure. So just stick around and we'll show you what can be done, and what is being done by the thieves in cyberspace.
Shall we play a game?
How about global thermonuclear war?
What was just once movie fantasy is now a frightening possibility. Back in the 80s, it seemed far-fetched and just a computer game, but not anymore. Which is why on Atlanta's leafy outskirts is a crack team of professional computer players. Here at International Security Systems, the hacker, whether it's a kid or a cyber terrorist, is the target that they need to take out. Could be just one person who...
It could indeed be one person.
Shuts down half the computers in the White House or Congress or...
Yeah, as crazy as that sounds, that's correct.
This is the old image of a military war room. In 2002, it looks more like this. Here, Dennis Turns, an ex-US Army NATO advisor, has swapped his car key for something a lot more colourful. And his troops are computer geeks who monitor their screens 24/7. That's around the clock.
It's their job to determine within 15 minutes whether they have an intruder into a network or just some sort of an anomaly that rang the alarm. Let me just begin by telling you what AlertCon 1 is all about. That's the lowest level, but 1 is open warfare. 1 is malicious, 24 hours a day, worldwide. It just doesn't stop. There's no let-up. It could be a competitor going after your network. It could be just some teenager in New Delhi.
Yes, Pete.
We're starting to see a lot more attacks against the home users and violations of the home user's computer in terms of being backdoored, where someone installs software unbeknownst to the owner of that machine, and that software is specially designed to allow someone to read your email, look at your financial statements.
Internet Security Systems began as a high school project for Chris Klaus. Still only 29, he's now one of America's richest men, with contracts to protect the Pentagon and the White House. In fact, protect big government and big business right around the world from the potential terror of the computer hacker.
I think there's a full spectrum of threat now. It's no longer just breaking in for fun, but as e-business and business in general is happening over the internet, there's a huge opportunity to make money, cause lots of damage.
So how realistic is it to shut down a whole city like New York or London, where power and water and transport and all those things are run by computers?
I think it's very highly probable. There was a hacker who had brought down the air control tower in an airport in the Boston area, and apparently the kid who did that was thinking he was bringing down some telephone computers, and it turned out it was the air traffic controllers. So they were landing planes by telephone.
So I hid my worm there where no one would ever think to look. Voila.
Anyone using the internet is now at risk. Hackers infect your computer with viruses, and worms are playing havoc right across cyberspace. Banks and big business are terrified to talk about it, but computer fraud is now costing billions of dollars every year. And since September the 11th, the threat of electronic global terrorism is no longer just a Hollywood dream.
It's a weapon of the poor and the weak simply because it's accessible, easily accessible and affordable. That is, you can literally go into a shop, buy a laptop off the shelf with a cell phone, and you've got the basic tools to conduct information warfare.
Alan DuPont is a military analyst for the Strategic and Defence Studies Centre in Canberra. DuPont sees cyber terrorism as a unique weapon for individuals to bring down nations. Bin Laden, he suspects, was almost certainly intending to use information warfare, especially when the targets are so plentiful and so vulnerable.
I think an attack on the US stock exchange would be certainly a very viable target from Bin Laden's point of view. If he could crack the security systems and then close it down for even 48 hours, that would be very devastating to the US and psychologically quite damaging, as well as financially.
We were in Atlanta last year when the destructive Code Red worm first hit, a hacker's virus that attacked millions of computers, including the White House and including Australia. Red worm jammed the world's computer system, but its real evil may still be lying in wait. The theory is that Code Red is the computer equivalent of a Trojan horse, whose real purpose was to open a back door for cyber terrorists to exploit later, when they're ready.
We think this worm is just a dry run, just a test to see how far a worm can propagate.
What part of the program of this worm would be to download my financial information or my personal files?
Sure. Once the back door is installed, your entire machine is controlled by the hacker.
All of the banking details, hackers can go in and look at all these documents.
It is terrifyingly easy to tap into the unsuspecting computer user.
All I need to do is send this email to him, make it look like it came from someone he's trust. He opens the message. Because of a little vulnerability in the computer that he's got, it will run that program and then install this secret little backdoor that I can use to gain access to his computer.
Grant Slender specialises in computer security. From a hotel room somewhere in Sydney, we asked him to hack into the home computer of 60 Minutes producer Stephen Taylor. It would have been just as simple if Grant had been on the other side of the world. What we witnessed next is scary stuff.
In this particular case, Ray, a hacker would have full control of his computer. There isn't anything I can't do that he can't do.
Grant easily tracks down Stephen's email address and then sends him an email using my name. As soon as Stephen opens this email, well, we've got him. What Grant has done is send him via the phone line a Trojan, a computer program that has infected Stephen's system, without him knowing it, and effectively giving Grant control of Stephen's computer.
Let's have a look at his current screen. So that's going away now. It's going to capture...
Stephen is on the internet, just reading the Washington Post. What he doesn't know is that we're reading it along with him.
One of the things I can do is have a look at to see if he's got any sort of computer camera.
Right. Stephen does indeed have a camera on his computer, so we turn it on. Once again, without him having a clue that we're watching.
And there is Stephen.
Oh, wow.
You can see he's busy typing away in the computer and he's just totally unaware of us watching him. So a hacker can take advantage of this by watching what's going on in their room or their house as we're speaking right now. I now know who Stephen looks like.
Stephen, like most of us, keeps his work and personal details stored on his computer. So, we have a look at his files.
Oh, he's obviously got some material on 60 Minutes here.
Right.
He's obviously got some letters.
Okay, my pictures, personal stuff.
Do you want to have a look in there?
Let's see what's personal. Stephen keeps photos of his baby boy Henry on his computer. And even with a friend, it makes you feel uncomfortable. So this is Henry?
This is Henry.
In the bath?
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? Perhaps the scariest thing of all is this. Stephen has a microphone on his computer. So we turn it on, without him knowing, and we listen in to a phone call. We could just as easily be listening in to any conversation he has in this room.
The reason I called was to talk about that quote. I thought that it was going to be a lot less than that, and so I was pretty surprised.
And just to be cheeky, we send him a message.
Big Brother is watching.
And for a bit of mischief, we open and close his CD-ROM drive like a ghost. We could be sitting in London or Washington now, and he could be in Sydney, and you could do exactly the same thing.
That's right. These sort of hackers can use these tools all over the world. One of the things a lot of people think is if they're using the computer at night, they're safe because a lot of people might be sleeping. But the reality is, in other parts of the world, it's the middle of the day, and people are always out there looking for ways they can get into computer systems.
Stephen's PC was at home, but let's say he was in the office of a bank or an insurance or a big company. Would that gain you entry to the whole company?
That's probably correct.
Kim Duffy is Internet Security Systems Australian head. Another ex-army officer, he warns that nobody is safe today.
The problem with hacking is that if somebody comes on and steals information It's not like your house being burgled, where when you return home you'll immediately notice that the colour television's been stolen. In computer technology, files can be copied or removed, but in fact they physically do still remain on the parent system. So there's no indication that that information in fact has been stolen.
But everything I read and everything I'm told by your people and others suggests that there's more money spent on armed guards than is spent on security for PCs.
There's also more money spent on soft drinks than there is on IT security as well.
Now, hacking into Stephen's computer was an easy afternoon's work. But just imagine the catastrophic damage possible through large-scale cyber terrorism. Security systems, firewalls, antivirus programs can all offer protection. But against a determined and clever foe, they aren't, and perhaps never will be, foolproof.
Let's say you wanted to disrupt a water system. Now, you don't actually have to go and turn off the sluice gate, or blow up the dam. These days, water systems are actually controlled by quite sophisticated computers. If you were to actually hack into those computer systems and turn it off or disrupt it, then you could actually disrupt the water supply.
And if you don't believe it can happen here, well, guess what? It already has. This man, Vitek Bowden, used a laptop to hack into Queensland's Maroochy Shire Council's waste management system. Bowden flooded this canal through here with raw sewage, making life for the people around and for the local golfing resort pretty unpleasant. Last October, he got 2 years jail, but he'd made his point, proving just how easy it is. And you could do the same in Melbourne for cut down the phone system for a short period of time, or the power in Melbourne?
Sure, you could do that. You could even shut down 60 Minutes, I guess, if you wanted to.
Dave?
Yeah, Ma?
What are you doing?
I'm taking over a TV network.
How to beat the hackers, on our website at the end of the program.